What's up, everybody, and welcome back to DK's Take. I'm DK from NBL, and today I'm going to be talking about adding a DLC for Madden 18 and beyond. But before I get into that, I want you guys to go ahead and check out At All Business on Twitter and go to his website, web3ks.com, where you get affordable graphics for all your creative needs. Uh, so we are all CFM lovers, and we want CFM to be great. And EA has done an amazing job with, giving us kind of what we want. There's still a lot of things left out, but as the years go on, we still kind of get what we want. So my suggestion, and many other people's suggestion, and other people have definitely talked about it, is adding a DLC to CFM. Would you guys pay for it? How much would you be willing to spend for it? Me personally, to get more, immersion into CFM, I'm down for it, and I've talked to several people who will totally be down for it also. But the biggest thing is, will EA do it, and how much will they charge, and how many people actually buy? I mean, I know like MUT gets a lot of attention, mainly because they get a lot of revenue in, from the packs and all that good stuff. But why couldn't they do something like that with CFM? So like, they could do a monthly subscription, like EA Access has a $4.99 a month subscription to have it, or they give you an option to do it for the year. They can do it like Netflix. They're $12.99 a month. They can do $250 per league, or $29.99 per person, or whenever you first buy the game, how they have like the ultimate editions, like you can do like $69.99 a month. You get some MUT packs. I mean, that's $69.99 a month, but it's like $69.99 for the game, where you can get MUT packs, or $75 and you get more MUT packs, or $100 and you get, all pro packs for so many months. Why can't we do that with CFM? Why can't we be charged or pay for a complete DLC, like especially for CFM, where we can get a lot more stuff? We have a lot of good things, but there's so much more that needs to be added into the CFM community. I mean, we want it. We asked for it. We're going to keep asking, and EA is doing what he can. Scott White's doing an amazing job with CFM, but we want so much more, and we're going to keep on, wanting more until we get what we want. MUT's getting a lot of what they want. They're getting a lot of attention, but we definitely want to get more stuff to see it with CFM. So with that being said, would you pay for it, or what is the price you're willing to pay for it? With that being said, if we can get like a DLC or something like that, then there's some things that I would like to see in the DLC. I'm gonna start off with team chemistry. MUT has team chemistry now. You can have it to where you get certain players and you get plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attribute points on certain things. So like, let's say if you have the Legion of Boom, your secondary would get, plus in man coverage, zone coverage, and press. If you have a good running game of Dallas Cowboys, your running back would get plus on his attributes, and your offensive line would get plus on blocking and impact blocking and strength. Or like the Denver defense of last year that won a Super Bowl. If you have a good pass rush and team chemistry, then you're able to have like better block shedding, better finesse move, better power move. Like, team chemistry is so important with the game, and I feel like when we play CFM now, we're not able to get the chemistry that we want. You can kind of just throw a player in here and there, and it is what it is. There's no, good or positive or negative effect behind it. So team chemistry to me is big. For instance, if you have a huge free agent you need to sign, you're not able to sign them, then you kind of plug a player in. Well, if you're a run block, let's say if you do offensive line and you have a run blocking scheme, then you want to add another run blocking guy to that scheme to keep your chemistry high. But if you add a pass blocking guy or a zone blocking guy there, it'll kind of mess up the scheme a little bit. I mean, mess up the chemistry a little bit. Like chemistry is so important in the NFL. I mean, just look at the Cowboys this year with their offensive line and how the chemistry is working with the run game and everything. Or look at the Legion of Boom in the past. It's just how that secondary was just so amazing and their chemistry was so good. I mean, for the most part, most teams are able to plug guys in and fill roles, but specific players are needed for specific schemes. So team chemistry would be great. And that also goes along with when you're drafting guys. Like if you have spots you need to fill and your scheme is a certain type of scheme, then you should have you shouldn't have to, but you should get positive effect from adding guys into your scheme that fit your scheme. And with rookies or with free agents, you shouldn't just be able to plug in somebody and it doesn't, possibly or negatively affect the way that your team plays on the game. So I'm all for team chemistry. Like I said, they have it on MUT, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to have it in CFM. The next thing I want to go into is contracts. We should be able to change the contracts in a whole different way. We should be able to front load, back load, restructure, especially with this Madden. This Madden is big on regression after the age of 28. And when you get older guys who've regressed so much, like for instance, like in our CFM with NBL, I have the Cowboys, and Dez Bryant is regressing, -2 speed every year now, and he's superstar development, but he's still regressing -2 speed. So he's at 87 now, so he'll be at 85 next year, and before you know it, he'll be 83, then 81. I should have an option. I feel like I should have an option to be able to go to Dez Bryant or any of my veteran players who are taking up so much cap, because cap is so hard and funds can be tough for some teams, And I should be able to have an option to where I can go to him and ask him to restructure his contract or take a pay cut or be able to move money around in the contract. I mean, I know like with the CFM of now, you're not able to do that, and that's asking a lot. But if we can pay to get these extra things into CFM, then that would just change the game as we know it. Especially with the way regression works now with veteran players, instead of having to cut people and take a major cap penalty, we should be able to ask them. I mean, we shouldn't always work, but if like the team chemistry is good, or how you have like the player likeness, if they're happy about being with the organization and everything, you're winning games and you're getting into the playoffs every year, and these guys want to stay with you, then we should have an option to be able to ask them if they can take pay cuts and stuff like that. We should be able, especially like with the way things regress. So if I sign somebody in free agency, like I signed Dante Hightower, he was 26 years old. So I signed him to a 4-year deal, and he's going to be regressing in 2 years, and I should be able to front load his contract, so that way I can pay him a lot more now while he's still, in elite form. And as time goes on, as he gets older and he regresses, like I should be able to, the back end of his contract shouldn't be as much. So if I decide to cut him and remove him from my team, it won't cost me as much in the cap penalty, and I'll be able to save more cap because I paid him a lot more in the beginning. The same with backloading. If you want to have a player and you're like real tight on cap, and you want to give him a lot of money in the back end because you're going to have more money in your cap in the back end, then you should be able to do that. Next, I want to move on to free agency. Free agency is a huge part of CFM. You lose players, you get players. I mean, it's a revolving door every year. And the biggest thing I do not like about free agency is that you're able to see who's at the top all the time. So basically, if you're bidding on a guy, let's just say if Cam Newton's in free agency, and you're going to have, half the league bidding on him. So whenever you see the top bid, you just add money, and you just add money, and you just add money, until you're at the top. And you have to keep on doing this, and you got to be there once the free agency advances, especially the way free agency works now, where the big time players, they sign after week 1. So let's just say if I have to work, or if I have school, or if I have something prior that I need to do, and I'm not able to be there at the end, the final 5 minutes of free agency, when people are just like, see that I'm the highest bid, and they're beating my bid and I'm not able there to, you know, match their bid or bid higher, then that kind of sucks for me because I'm not able to, you know, get the player that I really, really want because I'm not there. It's kind of unfair. So I would like to see in the future blind bids. Like you bid for a guy that you want and no one else can see it. I mean, that's the way I feel that it should work. You shouldn't have to, you know, be there every time whenever the week advances. So if I can't see everybody's bids and I make a bid that I'm comfortable with, that I feel like is really, really good, then, you know, I have a shot just like anybody else, you know, compared to having to not be around and be able to get my guy. And also, with the commissioners, we don't have this problem in our league, but they're the ones that advance it. So they can easily go and up their bid on people right before advance and always get the person that they want. So this keeps, you know, everything at a, you know, fair level. Also, if they didn't want to do that, then I feel like you should be able to have a maximum amount of bids, 1, 2, 3 bids you're able to make on the player. So if you let's just say if you have 2 bids, people aren't going to just bid on people, you know, just be bidding on people. Especially if you want to bid like right there in the beginning, right when we advance to free agency, and you make a bid, that makes it to where you have 1 bid left. So you got to be like really strategic on how you do your bids. You just can't bid to be bidding, or you can't be if you don't want a certain team or certain player going to a certain place. You can't just up the bids just because you don't want them to have them, or you want them to pay more. The thing that I love about NBL is that we are structured with free agency. If you if you bid on a guy, so let's say if I bid on Cam Newton, right, and it's at 110 points. Well, if someone else wants to bid on Cam Newton, they can't just bid 111 points over my 110. They have to at least bid 110 or bid 10 points over. And that's just the way it works. And I feel like that's totally fair. Like you can easily bid 1 point over 110 points, but it takes a little bit extra time to bid 10 points over, which means you can't wait till the last 2 or 3 minutes to be putting bids on somebody because you might mess up and not bid 10 points over of the bid that was in front of you. So it makes it to where you can't wait till the last minute, and it kind of makes it fair. Another thing we've also added is um, with free agency is that if, let's say, if I bid for Cam Newton and my bid's at 110 and someone bids 120, I can leave my bid, but the person that bid 120 can't go back and put his bid at like 90. You know, once your bid is in place, your bid is in place. So that will kind of makes free agency for us a lot more structured, but that doesn't work for every league. So in order to implement something to where you get 1, 2, 3 bids or you have blind bidding, will make it fair for everybody. Next, I want to go into scouting. Scouting has been great. You know, it's gotten better. I won't say it's great, but it's gotten better. The top 3 attributes, I'm not the biggest fan of, but it could be so much worse. I hate the fact that I got to wait till week 2 of free agency for combine results to come out. So what I would like to see is we all get scouts, and like the way scouting works now is that you pick a guy that has like the defensive backs intangibles or quarterback intangibles, and it kind of cuts the bidding in half. Instead of 5, 10, and 15, you'll get 3, 7, and 11. I would like to see the better the scout, the better the combo numbers are. So like scouting doesn't come until week 3 in the season where you can actually start scouting people. So depending on your scout, you should be able to see some results, some 40 times, some vertical times, some shuttle times. Depending on who your scout is, he could be an expert scout to a novice beginner scout. And let's say if I'm scouting a running back that runs a 4.4, that's what it says. If my scout's an expert scout, he'll be within 5% of what that 4.4 is, above or under. And if your scout is beginner or novice, then he'll be like in between 25% within that 440 time. Uh, it's a waste of time to scout certain players when you can't see their their physical athleticism. I don't want to scout. I don't want to scout a whole bunch of linebackers. Let's just say if I have a linebacker that's like A, block shedding, B plus power move, outside linebacker, and B, tackle, but he runs a 4.9 40. I mean, don't get me wrong, speed isn't everything, but in athleticism and agility and acceleration, it isn't everything, but it matters. At the end of the day, it's still a video game. And like I just wasted, 5, 10, 15, so 30 points on somebody that I have no interest in drafting, especially early. And I'll just say if that guy kind of lingers around to the third, fourth round, then of course it's like a steal. You got to draft that guy, even though some of his physical attributes aren't great. But a lot of guys want to draft guys with good physical attributes on top of all the other attributes. So I think I would like to see. It would totally help me like put my scouting points here, there, and there to certain guys that I want, because it's going to be guys that's fitting to what I want to see as far as their physical attributes and their top three attributes. Um, Next, I want to move on into the Madden app. Um, I like the new Madden companion app. It's limited on what it gives us, but it's free. And I'm not mad about free. And now we have third parties like Daddy Leagues that can go in and give us um, where we can look at things like right then and there instead of having to log on to Madden and be able to see what's going on in our CFM. Now we can see it on Daddy Leagues. The Madden app is great, but if we're going to be paying money, then they'll be able to expand the Madden app a lot more. Drafting drafting on the app, being able to put in free agency bids, being able to cut players, put them on practice squad, do the depth charts, everything you can do in the game, but now in the companion app. That'd just be huge. I love the companion app. I'm glad that EA brought the companion app back, and it's good to have, but it's very limited to what we can do. But I'm not mad though, because it's free and EA's trying, and it's really appreciative. We waited a long time for the companion app, and now that it's here, now we have Daddy Leagues back. It makes our lives a lot more easier. So I'm really happy about that. But I want more. We all want more. CFM is huge for some of the Madden community. I understand MUT's big and Draft Champions is big and head to head and ranked and all that's big, but CFM is big too, and it's a big part. It is Madden Bomber League. I mean, we're CFM. We're August to August. Like, this is what we play. We totally get our full, $59.99 worth of Madden. But I wouldn't mind paying, $99.99 for the game and getting, a DLC for CFM, or paying a monthly fee, or paying a league fee to get, better things. Like, we need these things in Madden. We want to take CFM to the next level, but it's hard to, because there's only so much that they can do. They only have so much of a budget, and they have a lot more things that they have to put more focus on. Like I said, MUD and Draft Champions and head to head and gameplay and the atmosphere of the game and the coding and the engine. They got a lot on their hands, and they got to do this like every 9 months, every year. But I feel like if we paid for DLC in CFM, then it wouldn't really be an excuse on why they can't give us some of the extra things that we want that's not in CFM right now. Another idea that I was thinking about is like they do like the Draft Champions tournament, or the MUT tournament, or the salary cap MUT tournament, and they pay big bucks for it, and there's a big competition with it. So with another way to kind of give some more love to CFM is maybe having guys play have a ranked tournament where you get like the top 32 guys in Madden to all do a random drawing for teams in CFM, and having like a CFM league where there's 32 guys, right? And and it's the top 32 guys, or however they want to do it. I don't know an exact way how to do it, but I would suggest like the top 32 guys, because it just keeps things interesting. And you get a random team, and you play one game a week in that CFM league. So week one, during this season, you play your game, and then that's it. And then you play your game every week, right? And then when Super Bowl week comes, like that Pro Bowl week before the Super Bowl, they can play that CFM Super Bowl, and winner gets like a prize, like money or whatever they do, like they do all the other tournaments. But it would totally give a whole new outlook into CFM. I don't know how the rules will be. I don't know how many minutes the quarters would be. I don't know how trades will work. But I mean, it just brings more immersion to CFM and more light and more focus to CFM. They do it for everything else. They can go to Burbank and do the playoffs, for the AFC and the NFC, and break it all the way down to the Super Bowl and winner take all. And it's awesome to me because like some of the top players in the Madden community will be in it, and they'll either have a team like the Seahawks or the Broncos, the Cowboys, or the Cardinals, and then you have guys with the Browns, the Jets, the Chargers, and stuff like that. And you really get an idea for, who's really good and how these guys are going to want to make their teams and the trades that they make and everything. And it just be like a 1 year thing, just once a week, advances. And it's not asking for much, with 1 week advances, but we need to bring more light to CFM. And I would like to see a lot more light to CFM so we can get more added into CFM. I mean, CFM, like I said, is a huge part. With that being said, that's all I have for now. I mean, I've kind of rambled on for 20 minutes about, trying to bring in a DLC into Madden for the future. We will all love it, and I know I will love it. I mean, I want more. We have a lot. Per se. We got a lot, but there's so much more that we can have, and there's so much, and CFM can be so much better. Make sure you guys check out 365.maddenbomberleague.com to check out anything that we do in the NBL. You can check out the owner statistics, rules, sign up to be in our development league grid to work your way up into the NBL. All our Super Bowl winners, all our records. I mean, anything NBL you can find at 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Also, we have a lot of great content. We have Lip and Bomber, our commissioners. They do the Commissioner's Corner podcast. Make sure you check them out. Check out Brocco Beef. He does his podcast. He does a great job. He's very, very detailed about what's going around with the league and everything like that. We also have Sonny Weaver, and he does a great job with the forverts and everything. And then we have our NBL Live, where we do our live broadcasting games and everything. We got a lot of stuff going on. I also want to throw a big shout out to our Treyu. I think that's how I pronounce your name. He's not quite in NBL yet. He's in the grid right now, but he's totally taken over with the network, and he makes sure he gets always, as far as like our highlights are concerned. He's going to do a top 10 at the end of the year, and all we have to do is basically tell him our gamer tag, and we record our clips from our games, and he goes in and does all the work. I mean, all we gotta do is say Xbox record, or press the Xbox symbol in the middle of our controller twice, press X, and it records, and he goes in and he takes all the clips from all 32 users and puts them on YouTube at NBL Network. So big shout out to our Treyu. You're doing big things. We're so happy to have you, putting in all this effort and everything into our league, and it's greatly appreciated. That's all I have for now. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Make sure you check out all that we have. We're doing big things over here at NBL. Definitely the greatest league in the entire universe. Not the world, the universe. We're doing big things, guys. So if you have any questions, make sure you comment in the comment section. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Please like all of our videos, including my own, and subscribe to the NBL Network. Follow us on Twitter at Madden Bomber League. And that's all I have for now. Thank you guys for watching. And y'all come back, and we're going to keep on pushing out this content for you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day and stay blessed.